Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the first interview of Doing Business with Love. I want to welcome you with all my love, and we have the beautiful Jasmine Ivy here. And I just want to really kick this start off on a strong interview because Jasmine Ivy is the bomb. She is a spiritual visionary and a law of attraction teacher, changing the face of online business one woman at a time. She is amazing, and she's actually really sparked and ignited something in me, which is what I want to give to you, the viewer, and it's just amazing. Thank you, and welcome, Jasmine.
Thank you. What an amazing introduction. I appreciate that. I'm so glad to be here.
Oh, man, I'm going to tell you, Jasmine is the facilitator of a fantastic Facebook group, the Reinvention Queens. And I just found her not too long ago online. And she's already made a massive impact in my life. And what it was is this. She came up with something that was divinely given to her, the My 111 Project. And if you're on my YouTube channel, you know that I've been talking about this stuff. And I actually do a weekly check-in for it, Jasmine.
Oh, that's wonderful. I'll have to check it out.
So, because I believe that we got to evaluate ourselves. I call it a weekly evaluation. And this concept of the My 111 Project is really beautiful because it's about doing a daily minimum action, whatever it is. And it's in health, wealth, and creative expression. And so this is my little sheet. I don't know if I showed you this. It's got copies.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, that's amazing.
So I do this. So I make sure that I have my thing goal. I have 2 goals for each area, although you challenged us to 1. Yes, but I have 2. And
overachiever.
Yeah, I know. I don't know if that's what's wrong with me there, but anyways. But it sparked something in me, and I just want to ask you, how did it come up for you? And was it nerve-wracking to do it, because it's 111 days that was hitting to?
Yes. So yes to all of it. Yes. So it was nerve-wracking for sure. Like you said, it's 111 days. It's a really long time. Most, especially the New Year's challenges you see, they're 21 days, maybe 30 days. And I did not plan to do one at all. I didn't come into the new year with a plan I certainly didn't come into a new year to plan for a 111-day challenge. And it just kind of, like you said, it was a divinely inspired, almost divinely demanded. It very much felt like there was an insistence to it. I'm very much a believer in divine inspiration. And so, yeah, it really came to me, and then it just wouldn't go away. And probably from the idea to actually launching it was maybe, 7 days.
Wow.
Because it was, the inspiration came, and it came, you're going to start this on January 11th, which is 111. And so, I had a deadline. And even the day before, I was like, this is a lot. But, I sat down and looked at a calendar, and it was 111 days from January 11th was May 2nd. May 2nd is what I call my surgiversary. Years ago, I had bariatric surgery on May 2nd, 2005. And it changed my entire life, the course of my life.
Wow.
Because I learned that I could do really hard things.
Yeah.
That I could work at something, and I could use my tools around me, and I can make a massive change. And so when I realized 111 days would fall exactly on that date, which has always been really special to me, I was like, okay. I hear you loud and clear, and I cannot say no. So this leads me into an email that you just sent out on your email list the other day about, the title of the email was "My Client Stole My Idea." And this to me is so funny, right? It's awesome, but I wanted to start off with this as well. And I thought it couldn't have been more perfect timing before we had our interview either, because I want the viewers to take inspired action. This is the whole point of it.
take action on your business, take action on your purpose, take action on whatever it is that you have divinely guided for you. And the basis of this email is that you had an idea and you mulled it around for a while.
For a long while, yeah.
Do anything with it. And then what happened?
And then, so it was an idea that was pretty unique to me, which is why it really felt stolen, right? And then my client is fabulous. Like, we are great. And all of a sudden, I probably mulled it over for, probably 2 months. I mean, it was really like just thinking of it and being like, I don't know. And so then I was scrolling down Facebook one day and I see my client, and my idea had a very unique name to it. And it was not something you just randomly would see. And there it was. She had named her Facebook Live this, and she was going to, and I was like, oh. But it was, and I reached out to her, and what was funny? Oh, actually, she brought it up a few days later. She said, I did this thing. And as soon as I did it, I thought, this feels like Jasmine.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, that's because it was mine.
Yeah.
But I didn't fuss around with it. And then the collective, as Elizabeth Gilbert talks about this in Big Magic, it's called the collective.
Yeah.
And the collective gave it to you because I obviously wasn't going to do anything with it. And so now it's hers.
Yeah.
So it couldn't have been a better person.
I loved how you put it in the email as well. Like, just that our inspiration, our guided, inspired actions that we are meant to take,
right,
can be given away. They have an expiration date, right? Like, if it's meant for you to do, you better do it. And if you don't do it, then it will go to somebody else.
Right. It's meant to be done. It's meant to be done. It doesn't have to be by you. It's a gift.
No, it does not.
And they just want it, our divine whatevers, right, guides, or however you think of that, they just want it done. And so when it comes to you, it's really a good idea to take that action. But also, here's the thing, there's a lot of times we won't, right? There's like me, and it'll go on to someone else, and that's okay too, more will come.
And I just want to be clear that Jasmine did not talk to her client about this. This was like a separate thing. But here's a hot tip for you as well. I got from one of my mentors is to be an idea giver. Mm-hmm. It's one of the most generous things that you can do, right? So if you have an idea for something, whatever it may be, and it doesn't feel right to you, maybe it's good for somebody else, and give that idea away, because maybe that can be like something like really, really good for them, right? As a coach, I love giving people ideas to launch their business forward, right? It makes me so happy when I see it. So, okay, let's get into my first question for you, which is, how do you infuse love into your business?
I feel like my business is love. I mean, it's funny because I think the first way I do that is that I live my joy. So I'm not having to infuse my business with love because it's starting there to begin with. So I follow my fun. I choose what lights me up. Yes,
following your fun. Amazing concept.
So I mean, I think when we've been taught, I think by society, I mean, just by everything around us, that we're supposed to do the thing we should do. That there's this sort of linear sequence we're supposed to follow, and a lot of us do this almost like we're asleep until one day we wake up and we say, "This isn't even the life I wanted to create."
I've been there.
Yeah, I was there too. And when I woke up, it was this battle of, I'm supposed to do this, but also I want to do these things. And at this point, many years later, I really make actions. I mean, choose to do things based on what feels really, really good, what feels fun and joyful. And when you get to be in that space, then you are operating from love. Because you're choosing yourself, and when you choose yourself, that is self-love, and the result is that your people feel loved.
Yes. Well, that's a beautiful, beautiful way to put it. Great answer. So, why and how did you start your business?
So Well, I think I have to go back. So I was working in Silicon Valley. I'm a recovering marketing executive. I was in business and marketing and sales for about 16 years. And I ended the last few years of my traditional work was in Silicon Valley, which is a really great training ground, but not the most softest situation for you.
No, I can't imagine it is.
Yeah. And so I was traveling all the time. I didn't live in Silicon Valley. I lived in Portland, Oregon. So I was traveling a lot. I had a baby and all of these things. And one day I landed and I went to get in my Uber or Lyft or whatever, one of those rideshare. I don't remember which one it was. And it turned out that this was someone faking, trying to pick me up. And so effectively I was being kidnapped. And the way I learned about this was my real driver called me on the phone and he said, hey, I'm your driver. I'm here to pick you up from the airport. And I was like, what do you mean? I'm already in my car. And he said, I'm your driver. And I knew instantly what was happening. And the driver that was driving tried to take my phone away and all these things. And I finally got out of this. Thankfully, the driver my real driver stayed on the phone with me. So this driver knew someone knew. And I was saying, there's this, telling the guy where I was. So anyway, in those moments, I thought to myself, you're going to not make it back home. You're never going to see your baby or your husband ever again. And the thing that went through my head and it really stuck was for this stupid job.
Right.
For this stupid job. You're going to, your son's not going to have a mom and your husband, all these things for this stupid job. And I remember I finally made it to work and this is going through my head for this stupid job. And I was in those moments, of course, it was terrible, but I was forced to look at what I was doing. And I never went back. That was my last trip. I never went back. And it was hard financially, right? Because I was just like, and there was a lot of political stuff there too. And it was just like, my heart was not in it at all. And so, so anyway, I realized that I needed to pursue the thing that I love most in the world. And it had always been helping women. Always. I'd wanted that before that point. Almost 10 years. I'd been wanting to do that. And so I did. And I think because I remember saying to my husband, this is going to be the time I don't quit on myself.
Yes.
This is going to be the time. And, most of the other times it wasn't that things I tried to do failed. It was that I quit when they became scary.
Well, I have all my goals written up here. And in the middle of it, I have a fortune cookie from like the Chinese food place. And it says, men do not fail. They quit trying. Yes. So I am with you on that. Like, if you just do not give up, you will not fail. There is always a way to make it work.
Yep. Failure only starts with, it's quitting. That's all that it really is. And so this was the thing that mattered so much. I wasn't going to quit. Yeah. And I also realized that, life is like, this life is short and there are such incredibly precious things that I need to live in that space of being joyful, and I need to contribute to the world. There's a lot of cool things that come out of Silicon Valley. I'm not, shaming that. It's just that for me, my contribution was bigger than getting a product to market. My contribution was individually helping women or helping women in big groups like my 111 project, and just helping women realize that they can do big things and that they in fact are here to do that.
Yes, and this day and age, we can impact the world. Like, talk about having magic. We have the internet, we have like video, we have all of these beautiful tools that are right at our fingertips. And anybody can do it, like anybody. And just by living in your joy and through love, I really believe that we can build businesses and change the world and impact lives and do this stuff. That's why I'm doing this project, right? Yeah. Because it's not like some salesy, sleazy marketing, whatever tactics. And not to say that everyone out there does that at all, but there, especially in the spiritual community, there is something that like people have a negative connotation about sales. And I want to bring to light and raise the vibration around it of just saying you can do business with love and you can share with your heart.
Oh,
and
yeah.
people will want that. They
And
definitely
I
want
love sales. I think sales are beautiful. It's a value exchange. The reason women use the word salesy, because you don't hear men say that, the reason
No.
you hear women say salesy is because they don't believe that they can provide more value than the value of the money being given to them. It's a worthiness issue.
Mm.
And so, you know, as a marketing exec from long time back, like that's something I really deeply get. Like I get that. And that's, you know, that's one of the things I like to work on with people.
Yeah. It's important.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Absolutely.
Otherwise, your business is just a hobby. It's not really a business if
Right.
you don't have sales,
Yeah.
right? Okay. How has following your intuition, those intuitive hits, that divine guidance really helped your business? And has there been any instance that where it might have hindered you?
So, no, it's never hindered me, except that I'll answer that first. Except that the more we lean into our intuition, the more ourselves we become. And it's very vulnerable to be who you are in a world that tells us to be this perfectly packaged version of us. It's very scary. So it might heighten your fear around putting yourself out there, maybe. There's also can be a stigma associated with intuition, you know, sort of fueled businesses. So there's that. But by far, it has been only beneficial. I mean, becoming more of who I really am. I mean, that's kind of the point, right?
That's the whole goal here.
But like life, right? And what it does is you become so much more confident. And this will attract people to you. You become, again, that worthiness issue. When we feel unworthy, people feel that too. And so the more you step into your own power, people are drawn to that. They want to see, what is she doing that makes her just light up from the inside out? Like, I want to feel that way. And yeah.
Well, I've noticed that because my goals this year are big goals. I have a lot of big goals, and I thought that, you know, maybe I am trying to be an overachiever or something like that. But honestly, I don't think I am. It's just part of my path, right? And to do that, I have to be consistent on a daily basis, and being consistent. And this is what really, truly the My 111 project has brought to me, is just the confidence and the momentum, right? The momentum that, you know what, you're doing something and you got to do it, and it becomes habit, right?
Yes.
It becomes habit, and then you do these things, and then you gain the momentum, and it's always hardest to get up off the couch to go do a workout.
Right.
But once you're out there, you feel like doing more, and the more that you're doing that workout every day, the more your body craves doing the workout every day.
Right. And the more something becomes habit, you then can add other things, right? When something becomes habit and you just do it automatically, now you can take on the next thing and the next thing. And that's how we become sort of those dynamos. And with intuition, it's allowing you to really play into your strengths and trust yourself. Honestly, what's funny about my work is, right, like I have all these years in business. I'm an excellent marketing strategist, but what it comes down to again and again is I'm effectively teaching faith. And it's ironic that that's what I'm teaching. But ultimately, having faith that there is something greater than you, that there is something that fills in the gaps of what you don't know, that you don't have to know everything and be everything and do everything, that if you've been brought to it, you will be brought through it. And helping people know this and trust themselves and trust that voice in their heart. And, you know, I've seen it again and again and again. It's not about chasing that 10K month. It's about trusting yourself that you can create a 10K month.
And, you know, part of that too is allowing it to happen because it's already there. One of my, I have these affirmations that I have on cards. Every day I read through them.
Mm-hmm.
And this one is actually just happened to be here, which it's not normally on this one, but everything I need is already within me. Every
Right.
day and in every way, I'm getting better and better.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
This is one of the things I read to myself daily.
Yeah.
And I really, really, truly believe it because it's already here. Whatever you desire is already here. It's not like we need to have it magnetized to us or whatever. It's just like opening up to it and that faith, right?
Yeah. I mean, your natural state is abundance. That is our natural state. Flow is our natural state, and being able to access that, and all that we're really doing, because we're using the law of attraction, we're attracting stuff all the time. It's learning to attract the things you actually want, and then acknowledging.
I'm sorry.
And I know when I look back, one of the things that I've realized, I've been studying the law of attraction since 2006, and I have manifested everything I've ever wanted since actively manifesting. But there were times, and big things, really big things. And there were times when I would have to see it looking back, because we haven't been, especially women, haven't been taught to really celebrate those wins and acknowledge.
I know. This is a huge, huge point. A different mentor, a gentleman, he always talks to me about like creating smarter goals, right? So that SMART system is setting the goals. I have a YouTube video on it, but to make them smarter, you have to evaluate, which is why I think it's so important to check in with yourself. Like you should be doing it on a weekly basis, just so that you know where you're going. Like, and if you like don't do something, why didn't you do it?
Right.
What happened? What's going on? Course correct quickly. Right? Not don't
build fast,
because it can happen. You can be there for decades. And the other big thing is reward. Reward yourself for it, right? So if I accomplish a goal, I always make sure I have a reward. I'm going to go out for dinner. I'm going to get a massage. I'm going to buy a new shirt, blouse for the interviews, or I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, or I'm going to buy that business tool that I really want, or whatever it is that you desire. And because how my mentor put it is, if you think of training a dog, you don't like get it to sit and then you don't reward it with like beating itself up. Well, I almost did it. It took a long time to do that, right? You reward it by giving it a treat, and it gets more efficient at learning the command, right?
Exactly.
So like think of yourself that way, like reinforce yourself with reward and celebration, and and being part of a community where you can celebrate, right? That's what I am creating here in the Doing Business with Love Facebook group, is like we can share our celebrations. You have that option in the Reinvention Queens. Surround yourself with those people that are like-minded and will hold you up when you have success and be true for you, right?
Yeah. You know what I see a lot of? I see this in clients all the time, where they will have amazing successes. Like when they say it out loud, everybody is like, why aren't we celebrating this? Just really great successes. But what I see all the time, I mean, they'll have the highest business income they've ever had, but they will tell no one. And then, and then when we finally get to it, this is what I see a lot of women do. They'll say, yeah, but it wasn't whatever it was, right? So like, I mean, I recently had that where a woman who has been working for years, never getting above like 4K, she had a 5K month, and then the next month was like, I think it was almost 8K. And every time she would push the bar higher so that she still hadn't attained anything to celebrate. And I finally was like, what is the point of that? Like what? Like 6 months ago, you would have been like, and like, and so we all do that, like, right? Like we've all done that, and and I think that's just conditioned, that we're not supposed to We're not supposed to celebrate. I have a lot of clients who are like, I just want to be humble. And I always look up, I send them, I have this definition that I screenshotted of what humble means. And it's not really a good thing. Like when you read the definition, you're like, oh, I don't think I want to be that. But we've been taught to say those things and to believe those things.
Well, yes. And even from a kid, people are told to be quiet and go away and don't make any noise and whatever. So it is preconditioning. It's totally preconditioning. So when you want to stand up on your soapbox and start talking and stuff, we get shy and we don't want to be in the spotlight and we don't want to shine. And then not only that, but we care so much about what everybody thinks because we've been told to be quiet for so long.
Yeah.
That is not the case. Be loud, be proud, do whatever it is, share your heart. And you know what? People who love you will love you, and the people that don't, they'll drop away, and it's going to be just fine. So you were saying that really what you teach is faith. Why is that so important for entrepreneurs maybe just starting out or wanting to grow their business? And like, how is tuning into faith really going to change the landscape of your business?
Well, everything that is now seen was once unseen. So everything starts in a place of thought, of emotion, of dreams, right? And if we don't, or society, right? Like one of the things you see a lot with entrepreneurs is their dreams are walled in by what they believe is possible.
Yes.
And so they what they believe is possible has been decided by what other people have decided is possible. And so that's, you're dreaming within the confines
of that.
Yeah. And of your own human experience, right? Well, nothing great comes in that. All the great stories, think of every movie we love. It's always this amazing overcomer story, the person doing the thing that no one had done before, no one thought they could do. You love that. And all of that comes back to those people. They may not have called it faith, right? They may not have meant it in a religious or even spiritual meaning, but they believed in something that was unseen, that seemed impossible. And everything great is impossible from a logic ego mind. It always is, right? Anything beyond what we think of as our human bounds always seems impossible. And so if you're trying to do something great with your business, that's outside of what you know to do, which means you have to have faith that you're going to figure it out. Now, you can create a nice little business in the confines of the human box here, and it'll be just a nice little business. But if you're really wanting to do something really big, I always say, if you want to do it big, I'm the person, right? Because faith is something that it's that gap between, how far you can see and where you want to go. There's this dark gap. And that's the thing. Faith is the only thing that gets you through that.
Yeah. So, and with that, could you give us a couple of tips on how to get through that dark matter?
Yes.
It's so scary. Like, you have this vision of what you really want. And it's like your future self. And you're like, but I'm here and I don't know. And blah, blah, blah. And first, I just want to say everything is teachable and doable. Like, you can make the way. But how do we step into faith and get through that murky time?
Yeah. So my favorite quote about this is an MLK Jr. quote. And I don't know the exact quote, but effectively he's talking about how, if you're trying to climb a staircase and it's dark, you might only be able to see 1 or 2 or 3 steps. That doesn't mean the rest of the staircase. It doesn't mean you fall into a bit of, you can trust, right, that the staircase is going to be there. And that image, I think, is really useful for people. It just makes logical sense. If you are a believer in something greater than you, whatever that might be, why would it bring you 1 and 2 and 3 steps only to drop you off the face of the earth on the other side? That doesn't make sense, right? And we love for things to make sense. So understand, I think the tip is, if you've been brought to it, if a desire has been planted into your heart, know that it was meant for you to do. So that is ground zero for faith, right? to believe that it's meant for you. I think the second thing I would say is look for proof. This is something I tell my clients all the time.
This is huge because Jasmine, big light bulb moment here, because I'm going to be honest, Engine, about this whole project for me. I had a massive amount of tech issues. And I was feeling like, oh man, what the heck is going on here, right? And I happened to catch a live stream where he said, look for proof.
Yeah.
And then I said, universe, okay, universe, I know I'm not stupid. I know I'm really smart. I know that I change lives. Like, I do this. Right. And I did a little live stream in my group. And I said, hey, I'm having massive self-doubt things here right now. And I'm just going live to show you authentically that it happens to the best of us. Like, it really does. It happens to everyone at every level, at whatever. So if you have those moments, it's okay. But we've got tools, right? And one of the things is to ask the universe for help or show the signs, right?
Yeah.
That day, I had, when I said, universe, please show me, I had 5 of my clients reach out to me with like, oh, Mila, you're amazing. I need to book a session with you. You've done so much. One actually listed bullet points of how amazing and how long she's known me and what have things done. And I was all like, thank you. And I just need to see it. And the universe sent them right there for me. So thank you for saying that. Like, just for you showing up live to say, hey, look for the signs.
Yeah, look for proof. You can look for it in your current life, but you can also look for it in your past. Most of us have done really hard things at some point in our life, right? Where we got through something and we were like, I didn't know if I could, but you did. And looking for your own experiences just to remind you, like I said earlier, I had gastric bypass, and what I learned from that beyond just like, it was like an amazing thing for me, but like also just looking back at it, it felt like I was in the darkest place that I could be. I could barely walk. And to look back at that and realize like it took a long time to make all of that happen and to lose all of that weight, and to realize like if you work at something and if you want something and you put yourself into it, that you can change your life. And that was such an important thing to know. And that's a proof I use all the time still.
And I just got to say this to you, Jasmine. You've been pretty open about it, about the weight loss. And Honest Engine, she's lost like 200 pounds. That's mind-blowing.
201.
201. Okay. Well, and, woo! I got to celebrate for you because, like, I mean, oh my God, holy shit balls, right? Like 200 pounds. Are you kidding me? That's not like, I've lost 60 pounds and that's not a small feat either. But like, I mean, 200 pounds, that's wow. That takes dedication, commitment. It takes changing your lifestyle. It means all of those things. And just with even your My 111 project, I know that you committed to doing exercise daily, right? And I believe it was 11 minutes a day you said that you would do? Minimum, right? So this is our minimum we had, and I did want to bring this up, so that's awesome. So, but it's her minimum for her health was the 11 minutes, right, of exercise daily. That creates momentum, and like, who doesn't have 11 minutes a day?
Well, and who just does 11 minutes, right? So mentally you're like, I only have to do 11 minutes. That's nothing. I won't even sweat. And then you get on there 45 minutes later.
Yeah,
right?
You keep on going because you feel good, right?
Exactly.
And you do it. So I want to congratulate you on that, because that is like a huge win, and your body loves you for it. And like with that is, and really truly, like, I mean, it's not about the weight. It is in a way for health reasons or whatever, but it's not about the weight. And I know that you know, doing that for yourself. It's self-care, it's self-love, it's moving into a healthier lifestyle. It's all of those things. It's huge. But the other thing that I want to say is that you didn't wait to start your business or be a marketing exec or anything like that because you had weight. So I don't want anybody to stop because they're not quote unquote perfect at
I'm still not perfect.
you know.
Honestly, I mean, since I had my son, which was another whole thing, right? I had severe infertility for years. And that's another thing I look to for proof. I can do hard things. But you know, I had a pregnancy. I actually had, you know, 3 pregnancies. I lost 2 of them and gained weight through the process. So I'm not down to my lowest weight right now. And here I am in the most public eye I've ever been in, really in my life, right? And I definitely don't look like my cute little 25-year-old thinnest I'd ever been self. And it's like, you know, showing up as we are and loving who we are and doing the thing, and then seeing people have their responses and their results and all of the beautiful things. Like I kind of think of that as like reminding people, like, you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be that size 2 or 4 or whatever. Like, you don't have to be the perfect coach. There's a lot of that out there of the perfect, almost model looking coaches. And I mean, that's fine. I don't want to thin shame either.
No.
But I want to remind people you can do what you want to do in the body that you're in.
Yes.
You're allowed to do that.
Yeah. It's just amazing. It really is, like, all of that. And just by, you know, just start now and start where you are, because like I say that I always always just start, but you said something in some video or something, and it was, or I can't remember, but this is the basic synopsis of this conversation. When's the best time to make that phone call? Now.
Exactly. Whatever the idea, now is the good time to start.
When's the best time to send that email? Now. When's the best time to reach out to somebody? Now. When's the best time to do whatever? Now.
Yeah, don't give yourself time to second guess. Don't give your ego time to put on armor and scare you. And just, like, you know, you will second. There's nothing positive that happens between the inspired action and if you wait, because that just allows the ego to grow. And you are fully equipped now.
You have everything within you right now.
Exactly.
And with that, let's wrap this up. And so, Jasmine, how do we find you online? Where can people get more of the lovely Jasmine Ivy?
Yeah, so my very favorite place to hang out online is Reinvention Queens, and it's a private Facebook group. So if whatever you say in there stays in there, that's the best part. But you can just type in reinventionqueens.com and it'll take you there. You can request to join, and we'll get you approved. And there is a ton of free value in there all the time. Videos, and even in the files section we have journal prompts and all sorts of stuff, and that's really the best place to come hang out, because I've had people go from literally homeless to fully booked from free content.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's an amazing thing.
Like, hey, there's some proof you did it too, and proof that they did it too. Like, oh, that's so amazing. And it's so wonderful that you are with us, Jasmine. She also has a website, jasmineivy.com.
I do, yes.
And honestly, I just love speaking to you. You totally embody love in business. And it's like, it's always, I feel like I've known you forever. So this is a really, really special way to start off this project. And, you know,
congrats.
Inspiring me. Yeah. Woo, woo. We're gonna, like, yeah.
So exciting. Here's to many more.
Yes, yes. I have another one that I'm thinking about doing this year. So.
Oh, fun. Fun. Inspired action. Start now.
Yes, yes. So, all right. The best time to do it is now. And we will see you on the next video. Please join the Facebook group, Doing Business with Love and the Reinvention Queens, where you will meet a whole bunch of like-minded people that are willing to support you on your journey. Yeah. And thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.